So, good morning to you guys, and thank you so much for coming. My name is Sami Kuzwayo, the unfortunate spokesperson of the 10 expelled members of the MK. And also, there's 2 more guys who are going to be joining us right now. The other 6, unfortunately, are held up due to some personal things that they're dealing with. Some are not in Cape Town, they live in Johannesburg, some live in KZN in the Eastern Cape. So it was difficult for them to come here at a short notice. We felt that it is important that we come to this platform so that we just air our side of the story of how things happened, how things unfolded, because we've seen that there are a lot of narratives in the media, in social media. We also have had Comrade Ntlamulo, who is a spokesperson of the MK party, speaking and saying some things that we don't even know. So we want to put our side of the story. We're not here to fight anyone. We're not here to speak ill of anyone. But what we are here to do is to fight for our justice. So I'm just going to read a statement that we all prepared together. So it begins. We, the 10 members of Parliament, recently reported to have been expelled from the MK party, wish to provide a formal response and address the situation publicly. First and foremost, we affirm that we remain members in good standing of the MK party and hold deep respect for President Jacob Zuma and his vision for a just and better South Africa. To date, none of us have received any official expulsion letters from the party. We have not signed any resignation letters, and if such documents exist, we believe that they may have been forged. We were informed by the Chief Whip of our alleged expulsion, while resignations were reportedly submitted to the Secretary and Speaker of Parliament without any direct communication with us. This process is not only irregular, but raises serious concerns about transparency and fairness. Our recent communication from Parliament stated that our membership as members of Parliament was terminated due to the loss of our party membership. We firmly believe that this constitutes fraud and a serious violation of legal and procedural standards. We have actively reached out to the party leadership through the Secretary General, Dr. Masego, and have been in constant communication with senior party leaders to express our grievances. And despite these efforts, we have been compelled to seek judicial intervention to address this matter. We have made significant personal sacrifices, including resigning from permanent employment based on the expectation of a full 5-year term in Parliament. The abrupt termination of our positions undermines our livelihoods and responsibilities as parents, household heads, and breadwinners. We are deeply concerned that certain individuals, including Comrade Sihle Ngubane, who is the Chief Whip of the MK party in Parliament, Tutuzile Zuma, who is the daughter of President Zuma, Ngobi Msezane, who is apparently the MK Youth League leader, as well as the head of students of Umkhonto is the student movement. Comrade Ntlamulo is a spokesperson, Comrade Nchingila, and they are friends, they are cahoots. They are manipulating the party for personal gain. They are acting without proper consultation with the president or the broader party leadership. This has fostered an environment of fear and intimidation within the party, where dissent is met with expulsion. We urge the MK party to take a decisive action to address these issues. If not, the integrity and future of our organization is at risk. So we have an issue, as I've alluded in this statement, that we did not want to be here. We never thought that we'd be here, but we find ourselves here. If you could do research about each and every one of us, you will understand the work that we have put in the MK party, and we're doing it voluntarily. We're not expecting anything in return. Because when you join an organization, a political organization, you know that whatever you do, it comes from the heart because you believe in the vision of the party. So we found ourselves in Parliament, being members of Parliament. And these guys, some of them who were permanently employed, they consulted Comrade Sihle, the Chief Whip, to say, should we resign from our jobs because now we're going to Parliament or not? And he said they must resign. He did that knowing very well that 2 months down the line, he would conspire with his friends and his group to expel them from parliament. So that person does not really care about them, does not care about their families, their livelihood. They really don't care. We are not here because we are rebellious. We are not here because we want media attention. But we are here because we are seeking justice. And I understand there have been many questions about bebuza ukuthi kungani singalendelanga imigudu yephathi. Indaba singakhulumanga nabaholi beqembu. We have done that. We spoke to the leaders of the organization on numerous occasions. Telephonically, we've been trying to reach them. At times we do reach them, at times we can't. Ayikho into ephathekayo abasinika yona. Asilweli imali. But isilwela ubulungiswa. If we are going to be an organization and we are saying we want to fight fraud, we want to fight corruption, we want to bring a just and equitable South Africa, but we cannot fight such practices within our own ranks, then it means we have failed as an organization. So we are simply here to say, we are asking and urging Ubaba to assist us in this matter, because we have tried to reach out to him, and we know that we are being blocked on purpose. Because when you go and try to report this group that I have mentioned here by names, they make sure that you don't even reach that doorstep at Nkandla, because they know that you are going to be reporting the things that they do. Like I'm telling you, even now, some of the members who are not expert in parliament, they're living in fear. Decisions in parliament are not democratic. We are always being informed that we've taken this decision and we've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no consultation, there's no respect for us as MPs. And whenever you try to question those things, we are shown the door, simply because they want to silence us. We are not going to be silent. I believe I'm a member of the MK party, as they have alluded that I have resigned from the party. I've never resigned from the party. I never signed any resignation letter. And if that letter does exist, they will have to explain in court as to whose signature it is and when did that person sign. Because I, Tami Kuzwayo, never signed any resignation letter. And these other guys whom they say they expelled them, they never received any expulsion letters. Asikaze sami sukumgudu iphatha akaze hlalise phansi to say that, guys, we want to deploy, we want to put you on the list. It's a strategy, as they are saying. It's a strategy, but after 2 months, we'll remove you and put other people. We never received such communication. They never said anything to us. We were just ambushed by the speaker. And I think you must understand where that grievance then comes from. And we must be quiet. We must try to make sure that we resolve things procedurally when they themselves do not follow procedure. So this is a serious matter, because it does not only affect us as individuals, but it affects our families, our loved ones. They are traumatized by this, because we are on the newspapers. Comrade Lamulo is always enjoying media attention, speaking all ill information, misleading the country and misleading the people of the MK party. We don't like being here, Asthandi, Abumnandanga. We never imagined that at some point we are going to be here, but we are forced by circumstances. We have played a crucial role in the building of the party, in whatever capacity that we could. We don't own the party, we don't owe the party anything, and the party does not owe us anything. We did everything out of the love for the president and his manifesto. As he said, we must all join the MK party if we love our country. We did that, and we contributed. But we are not going to accept abuse from a few individuals who do not want to see this organization and this country going forward. Because if you can jeopardize an organization like the MK party, and you are jeopardizing it from within, then it honestly means that you are really not interested at seeing any progress in our country. We know, we are aware on social media, we are being labeled as sellouts, we are taking the party to court. But I've always said that maybe this is a process that the MK party needed, so that the real criminals are revealed. The real sellouts who are trying to destroy this party are revealed. The real people who are doing everything so that they gain personally will be revealed through this process. The MK party is a democratic organization. We believe in a democratic way of doing things as per our constitution and as per our manifesto. The people's mandate says that we are a democratic organization and we believe in democracy. So going to court, it's absolutely nothing wrong. A court is a democratic institution that all members of South Africa, all citizens of South Africa can always go there if they feel that an injustice has occurred. It's not being a rebel against a party. It's not being a rebel against the president, not at all. We are simply going to court to seek justice because we have tried through organizational processes and we have failed. From me, unless I'm leaving anything, colleagues.
No, we are covered.
We are covered. Yeah, so that is just what we wanted to say. And also, lastly, I saw a Twitter from my sister, Comrade Duduzile Zuma, saying, where did we get the legal fees? We have no one. No, absolutely no one. We are not funded by anyone. If maybe she understands how people get funding, we'll really appreciate her help because we really need funding for our attorneys. As we are here, we are under their mercy because they realize that there is an injustice and they want to assist us, they want to help us. We give them the little that we have with the hope that we are going to win this case and then we are going to give them what is due to them. But Duduzile must not use that, going to social media, to Twitter, to spread propaganda. We respect her as a sister, we respect her as a comrade, we respect her as the president's daughter. But she must not get on our nerves because we are comrades as well. Everyone in this party, we have equal membership. No one is a better member than the other. We are all equal members. She must not even try us. We are aware there are lots of things, propaganda that they are spreading on social media, on WhatsApp, because they know that they are public figures of such. They are political celebrities that we are not. And they know whatever they say, people they are going to believe. They must know that they are not dealing with Kumalolites. We are not Kumalolites. We are ourselves, we are individuals, and we are going to fight for ourselves. We are not going to be quiet. We've heard again that we are funded by Ubabu Jablan Kumar. We are not funded by Ubabu Jablan Kumar. We are not even in communication with him. We don't know him. We never supported him when he was taking the president to court. We never supported him when he was taking the MK party to court. And we will never support him because we don't believe in him as a leader. We chose President Jacob Zuma. And we are here because we choose President Jacob Zuma. So they must not try to align us with Ubaba Ukumalo. We have nothing against Ubaba Ukumalo as well. As an old person, as a man who has a family, we cannot go to media and disrespect him. We don't believe in disrespect. So they will never find us in cahoots with him politically. But he's still an elder, and we respect our elders as our culture demands. So those are some of the things that I wanted to stress out. We are not funded by Ubabu Kumalo. We don't have any communication with him, and we are funding our own selves. The reason why she went to Twitter to ask where are we receiving funding, it's because our last payments from Parliament, firstly, I must stress that we only get paid 3 times. Our last payment, they ensure that they write to the HR or whoever to say that we must only get paid for 5 days, where else we worked for the entire duration of the month. They ensured that we don't get all our salaries because they wanted us not to afford the legal fees, because they knew they planned this a long time ago. So they knew that once they do it, we are going to seek the law. We will go and find attorneys who are going to. So they made sure that we don't get our last salary. They also tried to evict us from our parliamentary villages. There's a lot that they are doing because they think we are not going to expose them. We are not going to sit back and fold our arms. We are going to fight fire with fire until our dignity and our right to dignity is achieved. So this propaganda of saying that we are funded by who and who, it must end. We are not funded by those people. In fact, we have no one who's funding us. We don't even have enough money to pay Abobabu Uchidando and his team. But they've been lenient to us because they want to assist us and want to make sure that we win this case, because there is an injustice. Just like all other South Africans, all MK party members who have heard our story now, we must come together and fight this injustice. Otherwise, it may be us today, but tomorrow it's going to be someone else. And as long as we shield these predators who are masquerading as leaders, so and we are killing the future of these guys' children and their family. So I don't know if you guys have questions, but from my side, that's all. I don't know how we are going to facilitate this process of questions. Questions are addressed to myself. I'm going to answer the questions unless there's someone from my team wants to say something. Let me just note yourself, you are fine, and then my sister here. So I think we have to write down the questions and then answer all of them at once. Or do I just answer your question and then go to the next one and answer?
Up to you. It's up to you.
Which one is better? Which one usually works better for you guys?
And just take all of them
At once.
because then you don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just take one and then answer and then get back to the next. Okay.
Tommy, good morning. I'm Kevin Brand from ENCA. Do you know what prompted this this exodus from the party, or what prompted this whole motion? Because I understand from the court papers that the lawyer says that they've been informed that new or the replacement MPs for the ones that have been fired are supposed to be sworn in on the 20th. Have you had any information as to what could have led to this commotion, so to speak, in the party?
So you are saying that they were firing us to make space for others? Is that your question?
That's what essentially my question here.
Okay, so I'm going to allow Ubabu Simba to answer because that one is on the legal aspect of things. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a politician.
Thank you. What we do know is that the speaker's letter, the letter from the secretary of the speaker, suggests that new members of parliament were to fill the places of my clients. That we know. And apart from that, the conduct in the past in the political body space of the country suggests that that members from, I think it's the EFF perhaps, might be taking up the positions of my clients. But that said, we are waiting answering papers from the MK party.
Thank you. From Sana, thank you so much for the time. I just want you started the press briefing by saying that you still have respect for former President Zuma. Have you tried meeting with the former president? That's the one, and then I think Kevin's question covered the other one. The other question I also have is, what was the official communication that you received from Parliament, from the Speaker's office? Did they confirm that you are no longer members of Parliament? Did they say anything in writing? Because your lawyer in court yesterday would also know that the Speaker said that she will abide, or the institution will abide by whatever the court rules. So whether the court rules in your favor or out of your favor, they will abide by that. So just what was the official communication from Parliament, and have you tried speaking to
the President?
To Ubawa?
Okay, thank you so much for your question, my brother. Yes, I think I did stress on my statement that we have tried to reach out to the President through the Secretary General of the party, Dr. Masebo, and other senior leaders and other provincial leaders. We have tried to do that. But from my experience, whenever you are going to report that group to Baba, they will ensure that you don't get there. And like I said, even within the party, there are many people who are leading in fear because they don't know when they are going to be removed and all of that, So these guys, they are good at shielding themselves. That is why you never find me saying that the President has done this. According to my knowledge, because the President has never communicated anything, then the President does not know. So we have tried to reach out to him, but we do know that these guys have tactics of preventing people who are going to be reporting them to reach Uba. Yes. And then your second question with regards to the communique from Parliament. The Speaker sent us letters notifying us of a correspondence from the Chief Whip, Comrade Sihlengubane, to say that we have lost membership of the party, and by virtue it means we can't represent the party in Parliament. So the Speaker and then also alluded to Section 45 of the Constitution of Parliament, 46, to say that if a member loses the organizational membership, then automatically they lose their membership in Parliament. So I think that's that. So the Speaker was telling us what the Chief Whip has communicated to her, and that it means our membership has lapsed, but not in many words. You must understand the Speaker knows how to play with their words. Yes, I think it was my sister after you people.
Thank you so much. I am representing Newsroom Africa. My name is Atin Tongana. My colleagues have covered me largely, but I just want to touch on the party itself and some of these statements that they've issued in the public domain regarding this particular issue. I'm going to paraphrase what the spokesperson said, claiming that you were made aware of the fact that you would be replaced, that there's a list of people that would be replacing you, that they engaged you in a civil manner. I think let me just perhaps read what he said verbatim. He said, we engaged with them in a civil manner to inform them that this is the situation and that they have to be replaced. He says, and when I talk about sabotage, I'm talking about people who are putting friends, community members and family members onto our list. This speaks to claims that he makes about the list being sabotaged and that you weren't part of the people that were supposed to stay as long as you have stayed in Parliament. Thank you.
Well, my sister, thank you for that question. Well, like I said, my trust for these comrades, the spokesperson and his friends has lapsed. Because firstly, we have a chief whip who communicated information to Parliament on the 5th of July to say that we are no longer members of the MK party, we've been expelled. And then, like myself and Mr. Isaac, who's not here, we have signed resignation letters that we knew nothing about. He communicated this on the 5th of July. Ne? And then, so it means we have been expelled, some of us resigned. You have Ntlamulo, when these things get to media or comes somewhere in August and says, no, these people are still members of the party, they were not expelled, they are still members, but we spoke to them. Who do we listen to? Is it the chief whip who said we have been expelled on the 5th of July, or Ntlamulo comes in August and says we are still members, but they engaged us? Ntlamulo never engaged us. As a matter of fact, I called Ntlamulo when this thing started. And he said, hey, my brother, you know me, I don't know, I know nothing. But I was so shocked to see him on television speaking so fluently as he does, because he's a very, very fluent English speaker, doing that on television. And I was very shocked. So that is why I'm saying my trust for them. In fact, they are politicians. So I understand what they are doing. But they never engaged us. They never spoke to us. You must check how many times the list has been updated, the list going to Parliament. So if they engaged us prior, and then there are new members who are coming in now, where does that space come from?
I have a follow-up question. There's also claims that you are seeking clarity in court with regards to the constitution of the organization pertaining to the removal processes of members, and that also filters into the removal of members in Parliament.
Yeah, well, maybe what you must understand that as MPs or members of Parliament, we are also protected by the Constitution. So everything that is done, it must be done procedurally, following the Constitution of South Africa and not undermining it. So it's not a matter of questioning the Constitution of the party, but it's a matter of process and procedure. There was no procedure, like I'm saying. Nothing was communicated to us at all, not even a letter, not even a verbal warning, nothing. We just received a letter from the Speaker. So we want to understand the process and why was it being hidden to us? Why did Sihle write to the Secretary of Parliament on the 5th of July, but in August he was deploying us to provinces? If we had been expelled and some of us had resigned in July, why was he deploying us to provinces to do constituency work in August? Because when I was in Free State for a week doing constituent work as a member of Parliament deployed by the MK party through its chief whip. Some of the guys were in the Eastern Cape in this month, but the communication between him and the Secretary of Parliament Yenzega on the 5th of July. So like I'm telling you, that these guys are cronies. They are not honest people, and even themselves, they know they're not honest. They are just doing this, I don't know why. But we are not going to take it laying down. Like I said, it's an injustice and we want justice. We are not fighting the party. We are not fighting the president. We love President Jacob Zuma so much. Just like all members of the MK party. I don't think there's anyone who joined the MK party while hating the president. We love the president. And this has nothing to do with the president. But it has to do with this group of guys who are taking and putting our organization into disrepute unnecessarily. So there is a lot. I think we can even share the documents with you guys, the correspondence from Sihle to Parliament on the 5th. Because even themselves, they did not want us to be aware. But fortunately enough, we were able to get that communication. And when I called him to say there are letters with your signature, going to the secretary, said, hey, I don't know anything, can you send me those letters? But today they know about the letters, and they spoke to us that we are going to be removed. So it's a lot, it's overwhelming. Yes, my sister.
Tommy, hi, Lindsay Dedlinger, Eyewitness News. 2 questions. Firstly, why would you want to stay in a party that in such early days is treating you in such a manner? Secondly, what do you make of, you've listed in your court papers, the people you believe you were keeping the seats warm for so that they can move in? What do you make of that exchange that they want to make? And sorry, I did say 2. Third question, just logistically, have your parliamentary tags now been taken away from you and you don't have access to your Acacia village
Okay.
Have you got no access to Parliament anymore?
Well, like I said, we joined the MK party because we believe in the president. Even in this matter, we believe that he's going to assist us and he's going to make sure that we do find justice, be it in court or out of court. We believe that he did not know about the abuse that we have felt. We believe that he was not aware. And after today's briefing, we believe he's going to be aware. So it is only today that we are going to find out his posture on the matter. We joined the MK party looking at him as a leader and believing in him. He has been in the ANC for his whole life. The ANC has always abused him, always sidelined him, but has always remained a disciplicate of the ANC because it's not about individuals, but it's about the organization in itself. So even ourselves, we believe in the people's mandate. We believe in what the MK party promises its people, and we've seen the MK party delivering. It's delivering in some communities. You see that they are bringing boreholes for water. They are providing people with food. Those guys who are going through floods and all of that. They are making sure that we are there as an MK party. So we believe in the MK party. We can't leave the party because of a small group of criminals. We must fight these criminals, and they must leave the party themselves. We are not going to leave the party. We'll remain as leaders, as members rather, of the MK party until the President Jacob Zuma himself says he does not need us anymore in the party. Yeah, and also following the constitution of the party. If we must be expelled even from the party, the constitution of the party, because it's there, a pre-draft constitution, it must be followed. It cannot be that you just receive a letter, you have been expelled, and you accept that. No, we must follow democratic processes to deal with such matters. And your last question to say that how do I feel about warming up a seat for? It's not possible. We will go back to Parliament. We will be in Parliament. We trust Abu Babu Simba and Siswendi who are representing us there. We will go back to Parliament, and it's not going to be nice, we know, but we are ready. I think we took this decision of going to court and holding a media briefing because we are brave enough to do so. So we are not warming the seats for anyone but for ourselves.
Sorry, do you feel that other members of the caucus could suffer the same fate as you are suffering? Why your group? How were the 18 of you picked?
Like I said, my sister, I do not know. But what I know is that it's more than what do you say in English? It's more than the eye see, or more than meets the eye. Yeah. But people are smiling in public, but behind closed doors, people are crying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not nice in Parliament. Yes, sir.
I just have a question for...
I think I'm just going to take one question each now.
Advocate Chitando, in terms of there's about a week left before the 3rd of September. Where does it practically in law leave the MPs who've been expelled? Because Parliament's work just resumed this week. Are they allowed to then sit in on portfolio committees or participate in parliamentary activities?
Interesting question. I'll be very careful with the answer. That issue is before court, okay? The sub judicia, right? So we're in a space where the rights of all parties involved are yet to be determined. So I will not give an answer that you might be looking for, but to just say that, look, that is something that's sub judice, and we'll find out in the judgment that the courts give. Not just the judgment in the interdict, but also the judgment in the review. I think this is an unprecedented situation, so we will see what happens. But that said, the clients have indicated that they are prepared to fulfill their duties as members of the National Assembly, even though that issue is subject to dispute.
Parting question, please. I just wanted to know lastly, should the court rule against or in the party's favor, what are your options following that? Not obviously to preempt, but what are you going to do?
I think we went to court as some sort of a last resort, but also we are given an opportunity to appeal, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So you just didn't clarify, are you completely out of the parliamentary
No.
precinct and realm? And
We are still in villages. Like I said, they tried to remove us. They were sending letters to say that we must be out, and then Parliament said they have a way of dealing with those matters. So we are still in Parliament. We are still in our villages.
but not in parliamentary committees or...
We are still in the committees because we are still receiving communique from the committee chairs. They want us to go to work, but it's just us who are reluctant of going because we don't know how we are going to be received. And also you got a letter that says we are terminated, and we are receiving letters from committees. So you don't know which side to go. But we have instructed... Sorry? So we have instructed our attorneys to write a letter to the Speaker to ask whether we should go to work or not. And also, lastly, we are always prepared to work with the party. It's not like we are saying, no, it's a highway only. No. If the party says, come back, let us sit down. Let us discuss this matter. We're okay with doing that. Because, like I said, we are disciplined cadres, but we felt that our voice was being suppressed and it was not being heard, and that is why we are here. And also, we are ready to do parliamentary work. I mean, there's no need for Parliament to stop its work, simply because the party is still trying to resolve its matters. We are MPs, we've been sworn in, we've been inducted, we are more than up for the task, and as a matter of fact, we want to continue working.
Just one small follow-up. Your views on the former Deputy President of the Economic Freedom Fighters who's touted to come and be part of the replacement. And as a politician, you alluded to the fact that you are a politician. What is your thinking around him joining the organization, and particularly joining the organization at a tumultuous time for you, certainly, and seemingly to your disadvantage, because it seems like you were walking up.
Yeah. Well, as a member of the party, as someone who loves the MK party, whenever anyone joins the MK party, it's victory for the party. We welcome Comrade Floyd, and we know that his presence in the MK party is going to shape the MK party. He has vast experience in politics, is well educated, is able to deal with matters of police and all of that, which is something that we need. Maybe it's also going to assist us with building proper structures within the MK party. So we welcome him coming here. About him replacing us in Parliament, we have not, I have no comment on that, but we welcome Comrade Floyd into the MK party, and we love him as a member of the MK party. There's
also other figures that have been touted to join by the likes of Brian Molefe, like in Montana, and Mr. Gama. Any views on that? Well,
for me, it's only Mr. Shimvambo, Floyd, who has opened up public to say he's joining the MK party. I know nothing about the other guys. I've never heard anything from them, so I can't speak on that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.